Okay, Hare Krishna. We'll start our discussion on chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita. Before we get into the shlokas today, we will read the acronym. Bhagavad Gita Chapter 6 summary with an easy to remember acronym called EASY. The easy to remember acronym, the acronym itself is easy. Because it's easy to control the mind. That's why this is the acronym for this chapter. So, okay. Aparna, you there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, yeah, read the entire thing just like a story. Everybody should fall asleep. Okay? Yes.
Dhyana Yoga. At the end of chapter 5, Krishna briefly mentioned in the system of Ashtanga Yoga the strict, regulated, focused regime of ascetic yogi. In that present day, millions of people worldwide practice elements of this path, primarily as Hatha Yoga and Pranayama, which offers benefits for physical and emotional well-being. In this chapter, the path of Ashtanga Yoga is explained in its entirety. Essentially, Krishna's purpose in discussing the 8-stage path is simply to establish its impracticality for the purpose of self-realization and spiritual perfection. In an age surcharged with temptation and distraction, the easiest and topmost path of self-realization is Bhakti Yoga. E, enemy or friend. A, Ashtanga Yoga. S, success and failure. Y, yogi. E, enemy or friend. During our sojourn in this temporary world, we are perpetually accompanied by the voice within. Yes, we have all experienced it. The devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other, each giving us own advice to the confused person in between. The mind is that voice within, essentially a storehouse of memories and experiences that offers options to the individual. An uncontrolled mind will agitate, misguide, and entangle the soul within this world, forcing us to succumb to our lower nature of lust, anger, and greed. The controlled mind, on the other hand, acts as a friend on the spiritual journey, helping us make progressive and healthy choices which bring us closer to God. When one controls and befriends the mind, one experiences tranquility, peace, and freedom from the duality of happiness and distress. Ashtanga Yoga. The one way to control the mind is through a process of Ashtanga Yoga, which includes Dhyana Yoga, the practice of meditation. Krishna explains the ancient path as it was practiced in bygone ages. Living in seclusion, practicing celibacy, and under strict regulations of eating and sleeping, the yogi would sit in a perfectly erect position, focusing his consciousness on the Supreme Soul within. Despite mental and bodily distractions, the yogi would meditate in this way for many years, maintaining stillness and complete silence. Hearing about this strict discipline, Arjuna admits his amazement. This practice seems impractical and endurable, he exclaims. To discipline the mind is more difficult than controlling the wind. Krishna asserts that disciplining the mind is essential and that it is possible through appropriate practice and detachment. Success and failure. Hearing about the difficult Ashtanga Yoga process raises a new concern for Arjuna. What happens if one faithfully takes this yogic process but later falls away without perfecting his spiritual consciousness? The unsuccessful spiritualist is seemingly left in no man's land, having failed to attain spiritual satisfaction and simultaneously squandered his opportunities for worldly pleasure. Krishna appeases all such fears by explaining that whoever takes up a genuine spiritual process is eternally benefited, even though they do not perfect it. If we don't complete it in one lifetime, we carry it on the next life from the same point, and the individual thus evolves towards spiritual perfection. Why yogi? After summarizing this arduous process of dhyana and ashtanga yoga, The chapter concludes with a ray of hope. Krishna reaffirms that perfection and goal of all yoga systems is to help the individual become fully conscious of God at all times. While all yoga systems are certainly beneficial, the easiest, most efficient, and essential path is known as Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of devotion. In this age, the primary practice of Bhakti Yoga is mantra meditation, chanting the names of God, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Through this process, any person from any background can attain spiritual perfection and experience all the benefits described in this chapter and elsewhere.
Elsewhere. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I think last week we discussed until Sloka number 8, right? So what's that acronym again? Easy. E for enemy or friend. A, S, success or failure. Y, yogi. Very good. That's all you need to remember. Nothing else. You don't need to know what E for enemy or friend is. You don't need to know the details. Just remember E for enemy or friend, A for Ashtanga Yoga, S for success or failure, Y for yogi. That's all. So last week we discussed Sloka number 8. Dhyana vijnana truptatma kutasto vijitendriyaha yukta ityuchate yogi samalostrasma kanchana. Lostra, ashma, kanchana. What are these three things? Kanchana is gold. That everybody knows. At least you should know that. Kanchana. Some ladies have the name Kanchana. Kanchana means gold. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. So Krishna has included Radharani's name in Bhagavad Gita. Kanchana. Kanchana is gold. Ashma? Lostra? Pebble. Pebble. Yeah. So last week we discussed in this shloka that a person, a saintly person, a yogi or a sadhu who has controlled his mind with the knowledge and with jnana and vijnana. Jnana vijnana truptatma. Being satisfied with jnana and vijnana, the theoretical knowledge and practical realization, he considers gold, pebble, stone, everything as equal. So try to find such a person and grab all the gold from him. Ask him if he has a Chintamani, Chudamani, Kaustubamani, Kohinoor diamond, and just grab it. Our goal is not to become like this. Our goal is just to find who is there. Remember in second chapter, Arjuna asks a very interesting question. How to identify a Sthita Prajna person? Do you know why Arjuna asked that question? So that he can go and grab the gold. If you ask a person, then that's dangerous. Everybody will say yes. That's why Arjuna asked only Krishna. Arjuna asked only Krishna to know what is the right way to identify a Sthita Prajna. Otherwise, if I ask everybody in the room, everybody will say Sthita Prajna. Externally, they may say something, but internally, yes, I am Sthita Prajna. Yeah, you are talking about me. I am that. What is that line? Sanskrit line? Soham. Soham. I am that. I am that. I am that Sthita Prajna you are talking about. Okay, so then text 9 is also similar. Text 8 and 9, Krishna is explaining Arjuna to have a equal vision. Equal vision among various objects. Okay, gold, stone, pebble. These are some examples. But any object that is visible to a saintly person, what is his consciousness? How does he think about all those objects? He thinks about all those objects that this is the energy of Krishna. This is the material energy of Krishna, and Krishna is present in each and every atom of these objects. That's why they are same. It is not based on the value that people gives. People give more value to gold and less value to stone and pebbles. So this is not the criteria for a saintly person. For a saintly person, the criteria is Krishna there in pebble and stone or not? Is Krishna there in gold or not? If Krishna is there in stone and pebble, it is same as gold. There's no difference. That is the criteria for him. So now something similar in text 9 also. Text 9, Krishna will talk about how a saintly person will consider different people, different human beings as same. Text 8, different objects as same. Text 9, different people as same. But this is equality of vision. Having sama-darshana, pandita sama-darshana. From which chapter? First of all, tell which scripture. Is it Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Mukundamala Stotra? Bhagavad Gita, very good. You have passed 50%. Huh? Fifth chapter, okay, you have passed another 25%. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshanaha. That is also equality of vision. But it's a different flavor. These are 3 different flavors. Vanilla, strawberry and mango. Okay, mango. 3 different flavors of equality. Okay. In 5th chapter, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Krishna is asking Arjuna to have an equal vision among animals, human beings, chandalas, brahmanas, everybody. Okay, elephant, dog eater, everybody. Sloka number 8 of chapter 6, equality of vision among different objects. Sloka number 9, equality of vision among people, different kinds of people. So let's see what is the shloka and then we'll have some discussion. Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, shloka number 9. Suhrun mitrar yudhasina madhyastha dveshya bandhushu sādhuṣv cha pāpeṣu sama-buddhir viśiṣyate. For those who are new to the pronunciation, okay, like you and Deepa, whenever you see a dot below S, you have to read it like Sha. It's not Sa, but you have to read it like Sha. Okay? So for others also, if you did not know this, if there is a dot below S, it is Sha. For example, viśiṣyate. Now there is an apostrophe above S, that also has to be pronounced as Sha. Viśiṣyate. Suhrun Mitraryudasina. Yeah. So you do not pronounce, if there is a dot below R, you don't pronounce it like a complete syllable, Ra. You don't pronounce it like Ra. Suhran, you don't pronounce it like that. But you have to pronounce it like Ru. Ru. Suhrun. It's a visarga. Suhrun. Suhrun. So if you count the number of syllables, Su-hrun, 3. But if there is no dot, you will say Su-hu-run, Rana, something like that. You will pronounce. But it's a visarga, Su-hrun, Rukara. Now in Sanskrit you have this, right? Su-hrun. This rakara is there. Below ha. Huh? Yeah, but it's not a complete syllable. It's a half syllable. Yeah, it's a half syllable. Visarga. Suhrun. Suhrun mitrar yudasina madhyastha dvesha bandhusu. Actually, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, there is a guide, Sanskrit guide of various notations like this. These are called as diacritics. Suhrut, to well-wishers by nature. Mitra, benefactors with affection. Ari, enemies. Udasina, neutrals between belligerents. Madhyastha, mediators between belligerents. What is this word, belligerents? Never saw this word. Is it just people? A nation or person engaged in war or conflict. Iran, Iraq. Perfect to the context. What's happening? Perfect to current affairs. The context is very perfect to the current affairs. Okay, that means people who are fighting. Example? We are missing Sri Lakshmi, Venkatesh, we are missing you in the class.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Enti valla online?
ఇవాళ ప్రజ్ఞా క్లాస్ లేదు ప్రభుజీ.
ప్రజ్ఞా క్లాస్ ఉంటేనే ఇక్కడ వస్తా.
అక్కడ దాకా రాలేదు ప్రభుజీ మేము.
Okay. So belligerents means basically wife and husband, okay? Udasina, neutrals between belligerents. That means a person who sees wife and husband quarreling, but he remains neutral. Madhyastha, belligerent mediator between wife and husband. See, now we can understand very easily what is this belligerent two people who are conflicting with war and all. That's all not needed. Simply wife and husband. Dvesha, the envious. Bandhushu, and the relatives are well-wishers. Sādhuṣv, unto the pious. Api, as well. Cha, and pāpeṣu, unto the sinners. Sama-buddhi, having equal intelligence. Viśiṣyate, is far advanced. Okay. Shamala, Runara? Oh, purport లేదు దీనికి. Okay. Shamala, చదవండి.
Okay. Hare Krishna. A person is considered still further advanced when he regards honest well-wishers, affectionate benefactors, the neutral meditators, the envious friends and enemies, the pious and the sinners, all with an equal mind. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Mediators, not meditators. This word, mediators. Okay, madhyastha, mediator. So in this sloka, Krishna is asking Arjuna to have an equality of vision between all kinds of people that he comes across in his life. So we see many different types of people in our life. Some people are good, some people are not so good, some people are friendly, some people are very close, some people are like relatives, some people are like well-wishers, advisors, mentors, some people are enemies, some people are neutral, they are neither friend nor an enemy, just neutral. So, like that, we see different kinds of people in our day-to-day life. Within the family, at work, in the school for children, in the college, in the society, everywhere we see different kinds of people. So, this is the discrimination that we make, because that is our consciousness. But what is the consciousness of a saintly person? He doesn't make any distinction. There's no discrimination. For him, everybody is same. Whether somebody is insulting him, whether somebody is praising him, whether somebody is a friend, enemy, he considers everyone as equal. But let's try to understand why we make this distinction in the society when we are dealing with people. Why do we make this distinction? Because we make this distinction because of sense gratification. Because of sense gratification. Whatever object gives pleasure to us, we like. Whoever gives pleasure to us, we like that person. Whether it is the right thing or not wrong thing, but if it gives pleasure to me, then I like that person. If somebody is praising me, even if there is no truth in that, I like him. I say, wow, 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 wow. Yeah. Even though we know the real definition of pleasure, for example, now we know the definition of real pleasure, but we are still sadhaka. We are still practicing this bhakti. We have not controlled our mind yet. We are not sadhus. But based on the sense gratification, which is the prime objective for us in life, we consider different people as different personalities. Whoever gives, because we have these five senses. What are the five senses? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are the Sanskrit names for the five senses. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Shabda, ear. Sparsha, touch. Rupa, eye. Rasa, tongue. Gandha, smell. Okay, these are the five senses. All these five senses, they always want to have nice experience. They want to have pleasurable experience. The ear always wants to hear good things about me. The tongue always wants to taste nice palatable dishes. The skin always wants to touch nice comfortable things, soft, cozy, comfortable things. So, but this world is full of dualities. When we are dealing with people, we cannot have pleasurable experience all the time. So whenever we have happy experience with somebody, then we like them. Others, we discard them. So it's all based on sense gratification. This distinction of different people is based on sense gratification. Yeah.
Say happy means like other people are praising us, that's why we are feeling happy.
Yes. Yeah. Other people are praising us, that's why we are happy. అంటే
That's why we are పొగడడానికి కానీ అలా ట్రై చేస్తున్నాం. ఏదైనా తప్పు చేసినప్పుడు గాడ్ ఇలా చేశారని మనం లైక్ స్కోల్డ్ ఆర్ యాంగ్రీ చేస్తాం. అలాగే మనకి ఏదైనా మంచి జరిగినప్పుడు పొగడటానికి ట్రై చేస్తాం. గాడ్ని కూడా అట్లే చూస్తున్నాం.
గాడ్ కూడా అలా థింక్ చేస్తాడు అంటున్నారా?
మనం చేస్తాం.
Okay, if God gives me happy situation in life, then I praise Him. Otherwise, we blame Him. Is that what you're asking? Yeah, that's what we do, right? That's what we do in general. Yeah? We see in the movies that whenever there's a problem in life, they go to the temple and they ring the bells and then they blame the God. Oh God, why are you doing this to me? Why only me? Why not others? All these questions will come.
And even after that, God helps.
Yeah.
There are situations like that. But ఏ మూడ్లో వెళ్ళినా గాడ్ మాత్రం ఒకలాగే చూస్తారు.
Yes. So whatever God does is the best plan for us. We don't understand it. Again, why we don't understand that? Based on sense gratification. We want some immediate happiness, immediate sense gratification. That's why we want every circumstance to be good in our life. But whatever God does is beneficial for us in the long term. Certain things may not be giving happy experience to us, but if you wait patiently and see the end result, it will be good for us. So every experience that we go through in life is a perfect arrangement of Krishna. Hmm? This body basically. Yeah, because the soul is pure. By nature, soul is pure. Soul does not make this distinction. For soul, everything is same. But when the soul is in the material world, is in the material body, this distinction is for the body. It's based on the bodily identity, bodily platform, bodily consciousness, based on this sense gratification. Is that clear?
There are situations like even children,
Hmm?
like they go through some suffering,
Yeah.
disease. So in that context, like other than explaining with karma from past life, is there any other explanation?
So when children go through certain situations, yeah, yeah,
difficulties or some suffering, where conflict that we are seeing.
so you're asking what is the reason or how should we handle that? Yeah, so the reason is basically like for example, now this is too generic, right? When children are facing something that is too generic. So if we talk about an example, if a child is suffering from some severe disease at a very young age, like 3 or 4 years old, but the child is suffering from very severe disease. So that is definitely karma. It can be the karma of the child coming from past life, or it can be karma of the parents also. It can be karma of the parents also. So now without having God consciousness, without having Krishna consciousness, it is difficult to handle situations like that. That is when people get frustrated in life, people blame God, people, they develop suicidal thoughts that leads to total destruction. But when we see that situation through the lens of Shastra, when we see that situation through the lens of Krishna, then we'll tolerate. We'll get the strength to tolerate that. Otherwise, for a normal person, it is difficult to understand why a newborn baby is born blind. They cannot explain it. People who do not believe in karma theory, people who do not believe in God, for them, there is no answer. So they get frustrated in life, and then they do all kind of crazy things.
That situation, what we have to keep in mind, we cannot think like because of the karma, she or he is suffering. In that situation, what should be in our mind to convince in a positive way and to handle that situation?
Yeah.
We cannot just feel like it's karma because she is suffering, but how to convince to balance ourselves, what should be there in our mind?
Yeah. So the first question that we should ask is, what is Krishna teaching me through this situation? What is the lesson I have to learn through this situation? Every lesson is every situation is an opportunity to learn some lesson.
One example is like Satyanarayana's son. He faced the same situation entire life.
Yeah.
But if with that he learned a lot of compassion to the people. He stopped with the disability thing.
Yeah. Yeah. See, one thing is for sure in life. If you want to get closer to God, the only way is to see problems in life. Yes, only during toughest times we will remember God. Otherwise, Sarita is crying already. But this is the truth. This is the harsh truth. I'm telling this smiling and laughing, but this is the harsh truth.
But there are people who don't, like, even in their suffering, they don't remember God.
Yeah, exactly. That is also
It's not always like,
Yes.
They remember that it is frustrated and scold God.
Means they get into more, what do you say, like more like bad situation, and they do, like, as you said, like suicidal thoughts, or they don't even resort to God.
Yeah.
Because if they actually resort to God in bad times, maybe they may save themselves.
Yeah. So again, as Sushma said, that is their karma. Okay, they do not have any pious credits from past life. If they have some punya sukruti, punya karma from past life, they will definitely get in touch with some devotees who can help them understand the situation. But the reason they don't make any attempt to understand why it is happening, that means they do not have any punya sukruti. In the previous life, they did not do anything good. So as a result, what happens is, in this lifetime, they will suffer for some time. They'll get frustrated. Initially, they don't believe God. They develop suicidal thoughts, all those things. But eventually, after so much of suffering, then atato brahma jignasa. Then they will ask, why is it happening to me? And then slowly, Krishna will show them some path to know this higher truth. So, but anyway, without much distraction here, we are going off the topic. In this shloka number 9, Krishna is telling how to see every person as equal, how to see every person as part and parcel of Krishna. Whether somebody is acting as enemy to us, it's only external, it's a temporary thing. But in the grand scheme of this universe, in the grand scheme of Krishna's family, Vasudhaika Kutumbam, we are all children of Krishna. So within the family, let's say there is a fight between siblings. Will they really take it to heart? Temporarily, let's say Lasyavi and Tanvish, they fight. Will they actually take it to the heart? Next minute, they'll be hugging each other and they'll be happy. They cannot stay without each other. So, if we have that consciousness for everybody in the society, start with family first, and then in the workplace, in the society, everywhere, if we develop this Vasudhaika Kutumbam consciousness, then we see everybody as children of Krishna. We don't consider whether somebody is enemy to me, whether somebody is insulting me, whether somebody is giving me happy experience or sad experience. Even if the person is giving sad experience, we still consider them as a child of Krishna, as a member of Vasudhaika Kutumba. So,
just one question. So to understand better, like that person who is in this advanced state, they see everyone same, or they still have that distinction, but their treatment will be same.
So like they see, hey, this person is a threat or an enemy, but I don't have to react. Is that the thing? Or they don't even see that person as an enemy?
No, he doesn't see that person as an enemy.
So then how does it like it sums up, like when he regards honest well-wishers affectionate, so he's classifying people, right? And then he's tuning his behavior the same way.
No.
Because without classification.
This classification is for us to understand.
Okay.
Krishna is giving these different classes for us to understand. But for him, it's only one word. For a saintly person, it's only one word. Vasudhaika Kutumbam. He does not make any distinction. Because you will make a classification only if it bothers you. For example, I say something bad about you. You will consider me as bad only when it hurts you. For a saintly person, it does not hurt. Whether I praise you or hurt you, it doesn't bother.
So they're indifferent.
Yeah, indifferent. So there's no classification. Good, bad, there's no classification. Happy, distress, honor, dishonor, there's no classification.
So because being indifferent versus being compassionate, right? That's very different. Like I can be indifferent, I don't care. Or versus, hey, I do care, I know you are in this situation, but I don't have to react as you are doing it because I am compassionate. So that's what I want to understand. Like, is like they are totally indifferent. Like, hey, I don't care. These people are fools anyways. So,
No. It's not that consciousness. Yeah. So it is, in simple words, he does not identify people with body. It's not a bodily consciousness. He still has feelings, emotions. He has compassion. He's compassionate about others. In fact, that's another quality of saintly people, right? Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha. Vaishnavas are like kalpatarus. They have compassion for other souls. This person already has saintly quality. He already has the equality of vision. He has compassion for others also to develop equality of vision. Yeah. But when it comes to dealing with the people, he is indifferent. When it comes to helping others, when it comes to uplifting others, then he is compassionate. Yeah.
Prabhuji, one quick question to the same thing. So even in the, I know like we should see everyone like equal, but even in the same family also, like nowadays we see like even brother, sister or father, mother, someone says some word, we won't take it easily, we hurt, and then we with self-ego and everything. Like I know some people who are not talking for years and years, even from the same families as well. So how to develop the characteristics like to come back and then talk to them and then understand their problems or like whatever it is, like how to build that relationships.
Yeah. So it's a tough situation. It is tough because one person is God conscious, the other person is not God conscious. When both are God conscious, yes, it is easy to fix the problem. If both are not God conscious, then also it's easy. Both will forget, they don't bother too much. Okay, what if this person is not talking to me? Even if it is a sibling, brother or sister, both will think the same way. That how do I care? I don't care about my sister. Like that. The only problem is when one is God conscious, the other is not. One wants to fix the problem, the other is not ready to fix the problem. That is when the problem becomes bigger. It's very difficult to solve that problem. So, and many of those problems, they remain unsolved. Okay, let's talk practical. What is practical, right? So we can talk about philosophy, that we should consider everyone as equal. We should not make any distinction. We should not treat somebody as enemy. We are talking about everybody in the society. Now, when it comes to the same family, when there's a problem like this, how do we handle that? So, now, if you are saintly, if you have this equality of vision, okay, you don't keep any hatred for your sibling in your heart. Okay, any family member, not only sibling, but any family member. Sometimes I have seen some cases where children and parents, they don't talk for years. There are some cases. So whatever it is, whoever is the family member. Yeah, ego. Yeah. So whatever is the situation, as a learned person, as a person who has read Bhagavad Gita, as a person who know what is the right thing, what is the wrong thing, we cannot definitely become friend to the other person because the other person is not ready to fix the problem. The best thing that we can do is, in your heart, you don't keep any hatred for that other person. Rather, you wish all wellness, all good, all auspiciousness for the other person. And this is what Prahlad Maharaj taught in his prayer. Swastyastu vishvasya kalaha prasidhatam dhyayantu bhutani shivam mito dhiya namascha badram bhajata dadokshaje. I forgot the last line. So basically, Prahlad Maharaj says that Swasti astu. May there be auspiciousness for who? Kalaha. That means enemies. Kalaha is a word, Sanskrit word, referring to enemies. Swasti astu kalaha. Swastyastu kalaha prasidatam dhyayantu bhutani shivam mitodiya. Shivam means auspiciousness. Let there be auspiciousness for everybody, including the enemies. This is the prayer of Prahlad Maharaj. He is wishing for auspiciousness for everybody, even including enemies. His father is enemy to Prahlada. Now this is a classic example. Okay? Kranti, the example given by Kranti is a classic example for Prahlada Hiranyakashipu story. So the person who has learned Bhagavad Gita, who knows what is right, what is wrong, is like Prahlada. Whereas the other person, Hiranyakashipu. Now will Hiranyakashipu change? Will he become Prahlada in one day? No, it is impossible to change. He is not God conscious. Whereas Prahlada is God conscious. So how did Prahlada handle that situation? Always he wished auspiciousness for his father. Before Narasimhadev appeared, and even when Narasimhadev appeared, he asked for a boon. Prahlada, now you, after killing Hiranyakashipu, he asked Prahlada, now you ask for a boon. Prahlada said, please forgive my father. I mean, he has killed, Hiranyakashipu was killed, but forgive him eternally and give him Sadgati. Give him a position in the Vaikuntha. Anyway, he went to Vaikuntha, right? He is Jai and Vijay. But this is the mood of a saintly person. This should be the mood of a sadhaka also. We cannot change the other person. That's difficult. Not only difficult, it's impossible. All we can do is we should not have hatred for that person in our mind. Rather, we should have all good wishes for that person.
There will be no difference between both the people. If we are keeping hatred, then that person and us.
Yeah, and there's no difference.
It is good for us only to forgive.
Yeah. So this is the best way you can solve the problem. So you cannot expect to revive that past relation with your sibling or with your family member. That's not going to happen. I mean, it may happen. If it happens, well and good. But even if it doesn't happen, you don't have to worry too much about it. You don't have to think like, oh, this is the end of the world. My sister is not talking to me. This is the end of the world. All this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is useless. If Bhagavad Gita does not solve this problem, if Bhagavad Gita does not make, if chapter 6, Sloka number 9 does not make my sister talk to me, then this is useless. No, You don't have to worry, you don't have to take it like that. We have to see what is practical. So if it is practically solvable problem, yes, solve it. Otherwise, just don't put your time and effort and energy on that. Rather, you focus on Krishna, you pray for the other person, you pray to Krishna that the relation should revive. That's all we can do. Yes, Shamala.
సో ప్రభుజీ ఇది నేను ఒకసారి తెలుగులో అడుగుతాను ప్రభుజీ. అంటే తామరాకు మీద నీటి పట్టు అంటారు కదా ప్రభుజీ, అంటే ఉండాలి అటాచ్మెంట్ డిటాచ్మెంట్ అట్లాగా తీసుకోవచ్చా ప్రభుజీ ఇది?
Yes, ante. So what she's saying is, Krishna told in 5th chapter again, Padma Patram Ivambasa. We should lead life like a lotus flower in the muddy pool. Lotus flower, the lotus plant, lotus tree, all the leaves, the flower, everything grows in mud. But it does not get affected by the mud. It remains pure, fragrant, beautiful, soft, delicate, all those good qualities are there. Lotus represents enlightenment, purity, knowledge. So a person who has this knowledge, along with knowledge, what accompanies along with knowledge? Okay, Jnana Vijnana, but Bhakti is a parent that has two sons. One is Jnana, Vairagya. Very good. Vairagya. So along with that knowledge, we have to develop this Vairagya, detachment. So if there are some family members like that, yes, with this knowledge, we can develop detachment. Maybe Krishna is teaching a lesson. Krishna is giving an opportunity for us to practice detachment. And that's what happened in Prabhupada's case. Prabhupada's wife, she was not favorable. We all know that story. Maybe some of you do not know. For those of you who do not know, when Prabhupada wrote the manuscript of commentary on Bhagavad Gita, what did she do? What did the wife do? She sold all those papers to some chai wala, to some paper wala. In India, you get some paper wala, right? Who takes the waste papers and gives you some money, and you can buy something. She wanted to buy some Taj Mahal tea powder, and she wanted some money for that. So she sold all those manuscript papers to this paper wala, got some money, and bought Taj Mahal tea powder. But that situation helped Prabhupada. It helped him develop detachment in life. And then after that, he decided to work for the welfare of the mankind. Not just for the welfare of the family, but for the welfare of the mankind. Yes, Shamala, that's correct. So situations like that help us develop detachment. Chanakya Pandit says, Chanakya Pandit is one of the greatest saintly leaders that we have in the history. Okay, he's well versed in Shastra. He's very famous in teaching Rajaniti. Okay, Rajaniti. The laws to be followed by the kings, the laws to be followed by everybody in the kingdom. So Chanakya Pandit very famously says that for the welfare of the family, it is okay to sacrifice yourself. For the welfare of the society, it is okay to sacrifice the family. For the welfare of the country, it is okay to sacrifice the community. For the welfare of the world, it is okay to sacrifice the country. That means, if there is a problem in the family, if it is not solvable, then for the welfare of the society, it is okay to sacrifice the family. So like that, when you think, when you have bigger picture in mind, when you have the consciousness, um, in a big way like that entire world is Vasudhaika Kutumbam. So let me focus on that. Then you will not be disturbed by the small problems. Because after all, what else can we do? Can we change the other person? We are not a pure devotee. Even a pure devotee, even Prabhupada could not change his wife. Now imagine what would have happened if Prabhupada decided that I want to focus on my wife. I want to focus on changing my wife. I want to focus on fixing my family. Then will we be sitting here like this today? We'll be attending some kitty party. Ladies will be attending kitty party. We'll be attending some poker game. So, but for the welfare of the man, yes, we had. Now this is the proof of Sloka number 9. Suhrun mitrar yudasina madhyastha desha bandhushu sādhuṣv picha pāpeṣu sama-buddhya sama-buddhir viśiṣyate. Yes, Aparna is not considering Prabhupada's wife as enemy. She's considering Prabhupada's wife as a friend. Suhrun. Yeah. Okay. Without any purport, we discussed so much. We discussed almost 1.5 hours. Okay. Now we know the problem, right? The practical problem is there are some situations in life which remain unsolved. So in that situation, we have to remain like a yogi. Padma Patram Ivambasa. We have to remain like a yogi. And this is the theme, this is the topic from Sloka number 10 to Sloka number 36. The entire chapter, this is the central theme, how to practice Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga. So far Krishna has not talked the details of Ashtanga Yoga. He has not talked about asanas, pranayamas, all these things, which is the favorite topic for Sudhakar. That's why he's coming every week. Even the Jyoti is not coming, he's coming every week. So far he is giving introduction. Okay? But now he's going to tell the actual topic of this Dhyana Yoga, Chapter 6, Ashtanga Yoga. How to do the step-by-step instructions of Ashtanga Yoga. Sloka number 10. Chapter 6, Sloka number 10. Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi stitaha. Ekaki yata chittatma nirashir aparigraha. Yogi, a transcendentalist, Yunjita, must concentrate in Krishna consciousness, Satatam, constantly, Atmanam, himself, by the body, mind and self, Rahasi, in a secluded place, Sthita, being situated, Ekaki, alone, Yata Chittatma, always careful in mind, Nirashi, without being attracted by anything else, Aparigraha, free from feeling of possessiveness. Okay, Shrikant, you there?
Yes, Prabhuji. A transcendentalist should always engage his body, mind, and self in relationship with the Supreme. He should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. He should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. Purport. Krishna is realized in different deities as Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna consciousness means concisely to be always engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. But those who are attached to the impersonal Brahman or the localized super soul are also partially Krishna conscious. Because the impersonal Brahman is the spiritual ray of Krishna and the super soul is the all-pervading partial expansion of Krishna. Thus, the impersonalist and the meditator are also indirectly. Can you please scroll up, Roji? Indirectly Krishna conscious. A directly Krishna conscious person is the topmost transcendentalist because such a devotee knows what is meant by Brahman and Paramatma. His knowledge of the absolute truth is perfect, whereas the impersonalist and the meditative yogi are imperfectly Krishna conscious. Nevertheless, all of these are instructed here with to be constantly engaged in their particular pursuits so that they may come to the highest perfection sooner or later. The first business of a transcendentalist is to keep the mind always on Krishna. One should always think of Krishna and not forget him even for a moment. Concentration of the mind on the Supreme is called samadhi or trance. In order to concentrate the mind, one should always remain in seclusion and avoid disturbance by external objects. He should be very careful to accept favorable and reject unfavorable conditions that affect his realization. And in perfect determination, he should not hanker after unnecessary material things that entangle him by feelings of possessiveness. All these perfections and precautions are perfectly executed when one is directly in Krishna consciousness, because direct Krishna consciousness means self-abnegation, wherein there is very little chance of material possessiveness. Srila Rupa Goswami characterizes Krishna consciousness in this way. I can skip this, probably.
Yeah, you can skip this, but let me read anyway.
Yeah.
Anasaktasya vishayan yatartham upayunjatah nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. Yeah, we just talked about vairagyam. So Rupa Goswami is talking about that philosophy here. Prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunah mumukshubhi parityago vairagyam falgu katayate.
When one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts everything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. On the other hand, one who rejects everything without knowledge of its relationship to Krishna is not as complete in his renunciation. A Krishna conscious person knows that everything belongs to Krishna, and thus he is always free from feelings of personal possession. As such, he has no hankering for anything on his own personal account. He knows how to accept things in favor of Krishna consciousness and how to reject things unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. He is always aloof from material things because he is always transcendental and he is always alone, having nothing to do with persons not in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, a person in Krishna consciousness is perfect yogi.
Yeah. Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi stitah ekaki yata chittatma nirashir aparigraha. So the first step in practicing Ashtanga Yoga is rahasi stitah. A yogi who is practicing Ashtanga Yoga has to go and live in a forest. He has to go and live in a forest, which is not practical for this Kali Yuga. What is the first thing that we teach in Bhakti Yoga?
Sangha. Sadhu Sangha.
Sadhu Sangha. Come in association of people. Ashtanga Yoga teaches complete opposite of that. Go away from people. Go away from. Go to that room, Sudhakar. Now this concept of living in a secluded place. Okay, let's say I give you an island in Hawaii. I'll buy an island for you in Hawaii. I'll provide a nice palace with all the facilities. Huh? But nobody. You cannot see anybody. Everything is done by AI. There are no maids also, but the cleaning, laundry, everything is done by AI. Huh? How long can you live in that place? Maybe he'll say, first you give me the island, then I'll tell.
And the most important thing is no mobile phones.
No mobile phone.
So once goal is reached, right, there is nothing to
No.
nothing to beyond the
No goal, just today.
Yeah.
Today I'll give you. Based on your consciousness today.
today is
Not possible. See? A person who is practicing Ashtanga Yoga, he himself is telling this. That this is not practical. Huh? Forget about forest. Forest anyway is very difficult to live. But I am saying I'll provide a nice bungalow in island in Hawaii and provide with all the facilities, nice food, everything, whatever you want, all the arrangements are done automatically. No people, but no people. That's the condition. We cannot stay. So this is whatever is the first step. Krishna is starting the process of Ashtanga Yoga. First step itself is rejected by all of us. Ekaki rahasi stitaha. Secluded place, alone, all by yourself. Yogi yujita satatam atmanam rahasi stitaha ekaki yata chittatma nirashir aparigraha. But why is Krishna teaching this to us? If it is not practical, why is Krishna teaching this to us? Through mind you can do that. Okay. So while this entire process of Ashtanga Yoga is very difficult to practice in Kali Yuga, which is not practical, we cannot do that. And we are not required to do that also. But the reason why Krishna is teaching this to us is only to reject this Ashtanga Yoga. When will we reject? When we know that it's not practical. That's why Krishna is teaching this to us. That is reason number 1. Okay? Reason number 1. Advaita? Okay. So I put 2 options. For example, your daughter. She has 2 options, engineering and medicine. She has to reject one and take one. Only when she knows the obstacles that are involved in becoming a doctor, only then she will reject that path. It takes 15 years to become doctor. Even after that, you have to be with patients every day. So many problems. And it costs a lot of money. So when you educate the child with those problems, then she will reject that path. So that is what Krishna is teaching to us. Because when you tell your daughter, what are the problems in becoming doctor, you are not encouraging her to become doctor. Rather, you are giving her all the information and make a decision. She has the freedom. Even after listening everything, she has a freedom to become an engineer or doctor. Okay? So like that, we have to use our intelligence to figure out Bhakti Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. What is practical? What is easy for me to do? So this is reason number 1. Why Krishna is teaching? So that we will reject it. It is so hard. See, even in the first shloka itself, we are rejecting it. Ekaki rahasi stitaha. It's not practical, so it's rejected. Second reason why Krishna is teaching. in about 15-20 shlokas, why he is teaching entire Ashtanga Yoga process, is some of these techniques we can apply in Bhakti Yoga also. For example, Vairagya. One should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. This point that I highlighted here, it is for the yogi who is practicing Ashtanga Yoga. Because when he is ekaki in the aranya, there's no option for him. He has to develop, he has to lead the life of ekaki. Yeah? So he should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. But for a Bhakti Yoga practitioner also, we should develop this detachment, this Vairagya. The feelings of possessiveness, we should become free from that. And also the process of controlling mind, the process of breathing, pranayama, asanas, they all help in Bhakti Yoga. They all help in focus the mind on what you are doing in Bhakti Yoga. Chanting, right? When you are chanting, your goal is to focus your mind on chanting. But how is that possible? When you practice asanas and pranayama, then it becomes easy. So that is the neglected part in ISKCON. That is where Sloka can help. That is completely neglected in ISKCON. Asanas, pranayama is not even important in ISKCON. It should be made important. Everybody should do minimum asanas, minimum pranayama. Because no matter how many rounds you do 128 rounds a day, 128 rounds of japa every day. You sit and chant for 10 hours a day. Still your mind does not become controlled. But with breathing, because the breathing has direct impact on your mind. Breathing has direct impact. Agree?
Yeah.
Yes. Asanas and breathing has direct impact. See, now when you are sitting to do japa, the ideal way of doing japa is the 16 rounds. You have to do in one sitting. That is the ideal way. I know it is not practical. Why it is not practical? Because we cannot sit in one posture for more than 10 minutes. But when you do asanas, when you do pranayama, you can sit like a yogi for 5 hours, 6 hours. Look at Radhanaswami Maharaj. You should come to Yatra. Every year he conducts a Yatra in Vrindavan. Radhanaswami Maharaj, he is 75 years old. Now when he sits every day in the Yatra, the 5 days, 7 days, his class starts at 5 o'clock. For half an hour, 1 hour, he does some kirtan in the beginning. And then there is a 3 or 4 hours class. And then after that, again 1 or 2 hours of kirtan. There is a kirtan, Damodarashtakam. So the entire stretch is about 6 to 8 hours. And he does not get up. He just sits cross-legged, with back straight. How is he able to do that? Because of yoga practice. He spent a good amount of time in India practicing yoga, asanas, pranayama, all these things. That's why even at the age of 75 years old, whatever bhakti he is doing, he is able to do it perfectly because of Ashtanga Yoga. That's why Krishna is teaching Ashtanga Yoga to us. Only to practice some of it. We don't have to practice all of the Ashtanga Yoga. Like we don't have to go to forest. You can still live in the society, but practice some of the Ashtanga Yoga processes. Yeah.
Prabhu, even in ISKCON, even the brahmacharis don't do any kind of yogic practice.
Very less.
In the brahmachari ashram zone.
Very less. Yeah. In fact, brahmachari's life is more intense than grihasthas. They have stricter sadhana. They have so many services, so much of preaching. They are more busier than us.
Yeah, I've heard like they wake up 3 in the morning and then till 9 p.m. I think it's all busy. Till 30,
Yeah.
it's all busy.
Yeah.
They should get rid of desired possessions, anything.
Hmm?
Brahmachari should not have any desires or possessions, so he should only focus 100% on. Yeah, that's why.
That anyway they are doing, but in whatever they are doing, if they include yoga and asana for at least half an hour a day, then they can do much better. Whatever they are doing, they can do much better. Yeah. Because only when you maintain your health properly, you can do better. Yeah. Okay. So in the purport, Prabhupada is talking about the three aspects of God realization: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. A person who is practicing Ashtanga Yoga, his goal is to reach Paramatma realization of God. Because an Ashtanga yogi, he meditates, right? He goes and sits in a secluded place and he meditates. What does he meditate upon? He meditates upon the Paramatma within his heart. So, which is the second aspect. So here, Brahman, that's the first one. Paramatma, second one. And Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead means Bhagavan. Three levels of God realization. Brahman realization means light. God means light for them. Okay? The effulgence that is coming from God, that is God for them. For them, God means there's no person, there's no rupam. God means some light. You ask in India, many people, 90% of the people, they will say, God means light. Some supernatural power, some light. That's all they will say. Especially these people, Brahma Kumaris, they'll keep a picture of light in their puja mandir. They meditate on the light. Their concept is they go and merge in the light. That is their liberation. After Brahman realization, Paramatma is what the yogis practice. Paramatmas, the yogis, when they meditate on the heart, they get darshan of Paramatma. After many years, many lifetimes maybe, they get Paramatma realization. Third one is Bhagavan realization, which is practiced by devotees, like all of us, the bhaktas. So using the Navavida Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Vandanam, Atmanivedanam. There are 9 processes in Bhakti. Shravanam means hearing. Hearing Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavatam, hearing Ramayana, and so on. Kirtanam, singing bhajans, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, chanting some stotrams, reciting some stotrams, like that. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Smaranam means remembering God. So like that, using the Navavida Bhakti, 9 devotional processes, a person who is practicing Bhakti Yoga, he will achieve Bhagavan realization, okay, which is the highest level of understanding God. The Brahman and Paramatma level of understanding God are not the highest level. Bhagavan realization is the highest. So Prabhupada is giving this contrast, okay? While explaining about Paramatma realization practiced by Ashtanga Yogi, Prabhupada is giving a contrast of how a person who is practicing Bhakti Yoga, how easy it is for him to do this and what it means. What does it mean to achieve Bhagavan realization? What does it mean to practice Bhakti Yoga? Prabhupada explains here. Krishna consciousness means, concisely, to be always engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. But those who are attached to impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma are partially Krishna conscious, because the impersonal Brahman is the spiritual ray of Krishna, and the super soul is the all-pervading partial expansion of Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying that those people who are practicing Brahman and Paramatma, they are practicing Krishna consciousness, but in a limited way. They are not getting the complete benefit of it. Whereas a Bhakti Yoga practitioner, he does everything he does as a service to the Lord. He does not reject anything, but he engages everything in the service of the Lord. Because in the previous 2 shlokas we saw, right? He considers all the objects as same. He sees all the objects as the energy, as the material energy of Krishna. And he considers all the people as the spiritual energy of Krishna. So when you are considering everything as energy of Krishna, he will obviously use everything in the service of Krishna. Okay? Which is the actual renunciation, which is the true renunciation. Whereas the other renunciation that you have to do in order to become an Ashtanga yogi, even though you may artificially try to do in the beginning. In the beginning, first you have to meet this criteria, right? You have to go to a secluded place. Rahasi stitaha, ekaki rahasi stitaha. Even though you are mentally not ready, but you have to go. So you are there physically. Your body is there, but your mind is in New York. Your body is in the forest, but your mind is in New York. So it doesn't work. So, whereas for a Krishna conscious person, for a Bhakti Yoga practitioner, it is easy. Because both body and mind is in New York, and mind is in Krishna. Mind is on Krishna. Okay?
So are you saying that this will not work now? Or, because now all earlier yogis and it worked for them, right? So you are saying it is not going to work for the generation, right?
It worked only in Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga, there are 4 yugas. Each yuga has a prescribed method for liberation. How to attain moksha. Okay? The prescribed method for Satya Yuga is Dhyana. Second, Treta Yuga, the prescribed method is Yajnas. Next, Dwapara Yuga, the prescribed method is Archana, deity worship, opulent deity worship. Kali Yuga, Nama Sankirtana. So that's why this process will not work in Kali Yuga. It will not work in other yugas except in Satya Yuga. Yeah. Because of the design. By design it's like that. So when you buy a new phone, iPhone 17, you can't expect the features of iPhone 16 to be present in 17 or 17 features to be present in 16. By design, these two are too different. Okay? So, because the very first thing, ekaki rahasi stitaha, this is where everybody fails. We cannot even go to Himalayas or forest or a secluded place. Forget about forest. The earlier example, even if I give a island in Hawaii, you cannot stay there. So which is not practically possible, that's why it doesn't work in this lifetime. Maybe in the beginning of Kali Yuga, some people were able to do this. Even now there are some yogis. If you go to Himalayas, you can see some yogis sitting and meditating. They are living for more than 200, 300 years. They are still there. But the question is, does it work for me? That's the question, right? So it doesn't work. By the way, if you are already married, then it doesn't work. Because another important qualification, criteria for Ashtanga Yogi is, you have to be celibate. You should not be married. So it doesn't work. Okay? Prabhupada quotes a shloka from Rupa Goswami here, from Nectar of Devotion. Anasaktasya vishayan yatartham upayunjataha nirbandha Krishna sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. Yukta Vairagya. Rupa Goswami introduces a concept called as Yukta Vairagya. This is the actual renunciation, the true renunciation. The word Yukta comes from the root word Yuj. Yuj means to connect. Yuj means to connect. That means Yukta Vairagya means not rejecting anything artificially, but using everything, connecting everything to Krishna. Use everything in the service of Krishna, then it automatically becomes connected to Krishna. For example, this microphone. If you are using this microphone to sing some Bollywood songs, then it is not Yukta Vairagya. It is not even Vairagya, it is not even, Yukta Vairagya. But when you are using this, instead of rejecting it, saying that, oh, there is a microphone, I'll be singing Bollywood songs. Let me not use the microphone at all. Instead of artificially renouncing like that, you use the microphone to speak about Krishna. Then it becomes Yukta Vairagya. Okay? So a saintly person, a Bhakti Yoga practitioner, he does not reject anything and he does not develop attachment to anything. Okay? No hate, there's no attachment or aversion. No attachment and no aversion. The principle is engagement. The principle is engagement, utility. Utility is the principle. Everything has to be utilized in the service of Krishna. Prapanchikatya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunaha mokshubhihi parityago vairagyam falgu katyate. The other vairagya is falgu vairagya, the false renunciation. That is falgu vairagya. Falgu vairagya means the yogi is in the forest, the body is in the forest, but mind is in New York. That is falgu vairagya. Okay? Okay? So we'll stop here. Any quick questions, comments, reflections? The next 20 slokas are also what we will do is next week we'll just read all the translations, because it's a constant continuous flow of Ashtanga Yoga process. How you sit in the forest. Now we have talked about going to the forest, right? Now what do you do after going to the forest? How do you sit? What do you meditate upon? What are the yogasanas? What are the pranayama techniques that you have to do? We'll just read like a manual, and we'll not discuss too many details about that, because anyway we are not doing that. We don't have to do that. So there's no point in discussing in great detail about that. We'll try to finish like 20 slokas next week. Oh, by the way, next week, 22nd, there's a Kalyanam here in this temple, in this hall, Sitarama Kalyanam, on the occasion of Ramanavami. Ramanavami is on 26th, but they are doing Kalyanam before Ramanavami here on 22nd, which is Sunday. So, how many of you would like to attend the Kalyanam? 10 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. It will go on until like 10 to 1, 2, like that. You'll attend Kalyanam? Okay. Not possible, huh? Okay. Okay. So, the question is, should we cancel the class or what should we do?
But the function is here, right?
Yeah.
How do you attend?
No, if everybody wants to attend, then we can sit in a class and attend in a room.
Kalyanam also like auspicious.
Yeah. Kids class? I'll discuss with him and then we will make an announcement. Probably we can have class for kids. Oh, yeah, he's here. Yeah. See, my body is here, my mind is in New York. Okay. So will you be okay to take the class at least for 1 hour while the Kalyanam is going on?
I'm okay, but kids will be okay or not, I don't know.
There will be many kids also.
There will be many kids, not only this group, but there will be at least 200, 300 people who will be coming and attending the program. So maybe that's a good way of advertising.
No, yeah, we can do, but we need some volunteers to manage that huge crowd.
Yes,
We can manage them. That's not a big deal.
Deepa will be the volunteer. She'll help.
We need one volunteer for at least 15 to 20 people, 20 kids.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I'll show you some volunteers that day. Deepa is, I think you're planning to come, right?
we can plan.
Yeah.
We can plan.
So in addition to Deepa, I'll also provide 1 or 2 other volunteers.
Yeah, if middle schoolers are there, we can train the trainers.
Yeah.
Trainers will take care of it.
Yes, and that day it's the best way to engage the kids so that they don't run around and cause disturbance.
Yeah,
The parents can sit here, attend the Kalyanam while kids are taken care in the class. So yes, whoever is online, there will be kids class, but no Bhagavad Gita class for parents. We all can attend Kalyanam here in this hall.
Ugadi also coming, right? It's on Thursday or Wednesday?
Thursday.
Only, right?
The next day, 19th, huh? Oh, this coming Thursday, correct. Yeah. So what do you want to do on that day?
No, I'm just saying to confirm the date, Thursday or Wednesday.
No, it is Thursday. In our Bellevue temple also, the celebration is on 19th, Thursday. Yeah. I mean, here in this temple, there will not be any celebration. Ugadi celebration may not be there here. Yeah. So, okay. Pradara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.